What was your major?
French literature.
And how did you do academically at Princeton?
I did very well. I was so type A, so obsessive, so wanting to, not fail and succeed. And
did you need a bodyguard on the campus?
I had bodyguards for 4 years. Yeah.
God, that's hard.
It's hard when you're dating, I'll tell you that. But I get a lot of very frightening mail. So it was being a target, being in a place that they know of for a designated period of time, a location, a spot. It was easy to get to me, so I needed the protection.
What was the title of your senior thesis?
The Voyage from Innocence to Experience, shown textually in the films of Louis Malle.
So you were dealing at last with the whole question of
your
childhood.
Yes.
Do you remember the buttons that some of the students wore on their robes on graduation day?
Oh, they were always orange and black and had tigers and years. And
the most popular button that year said,
oh.
"Yes, I went to Princeton. No, I never met her."
Well, I mean, that just goes to show you what a generous spirit everybody had. There was a real sense of sort of propriety and a sense of protection, because kids were getting offered money, to take pictures of me in the shower. And
well,
I mean, it got that. I mean, they were photographers were hiding in grates and, down in, and the students just rallied, and they really protected me, and it was a beautiful thing to witness when, to feel that safe.
Did you shoot Brenda Starr while you were at Princeton?
Right before my senior year. I love that film. The biggest tragedy of that movie is that we were the first of its kind. I mean, we were before Batman and before all these movies, and they got into a fight, a litigation over video distribution rights, and so after it came out, it took 7 years before it would be released, and by then it was past its time,
Yeah,
and
she was a comic strip character.
She was sort of the first. She was a sort of a feminist, the first of, and, funny and smart. And
yeah, and very well dressed.
Very, very well dressed.
Over the years, in addition to your academic experiences, have you undertaken formal acting training?
Anna Strasberg is the person that I've worked with most one-on-one and studied with.
She's the widow of Lee Strasberg of the Actors Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been valuable to you?
It's been valuable. It's been frightening. It's been validating. I think for the longest time, I sort of fed into this belief that, I wasn't a serious actress, or that so much focus had been on my looks. And she was the first person who really just sort of wouldn't accept my not calling myself an actor.
In an interview, when you were asked what in your life or career you're most proud of, you said the most challenging and most rewarding thing of all is being on Broadway. True?
Very true.
What was your first Broadway role?
I played Rizzo in Grease. And everybody said, "Are you going to be Sandy?" I was like, "No, I'm not going to be Sandy. I'm going to be Rizzo."
And you liked it?
I loved it.
In 2001, you went into Cabaret.
Yes.
Did you enjoy that?
I did. It was my first real powerful, I re-recorded the album.
Sally Bowles.
Sally Bowles, and it was very, very emotional and very torturous and very, it was just a huge, it's like being in the Olympics to play a part like that.
Don't tell Mama, shut, shut. Don't tell Mama, don't tell Mama, whatever you do. If you had a secret, you bet I would keep it. I would never tell on you. I'm breaking every promise that I gave her. So won't you kindly do a girl a great big favor and please, my sweet potato, keep this from the mater. No, my dancing's not against the law. You can tell my papa that's all right, 'cause he comes in here every night. But don't tell Mama what you know.
Where did you do Chicago?
Did Chicago in London at the West End, and on Broadway.
The name on
wanna be a celebrity.
That means somebody everyone knows.
They're gonna recognize her eyes, her hair, her teeth.
My boobs, my nose.
When you did Wonderful Town, Ben Brantley, the New York Times critic, said he couldn't imagine how you could possibly play the Plain sister. In his review, he says, Miss Shields, it turns out, is doing Plain quite attractively, thank you. She's an unpretentious delight. Did you enjoy the Wonderful Town experience?
That was probably the single best thing I've ever done. And every now and then you just step into something that is just organically brilliant with how you feel.
What do you think about rhythm bands, monkey glands, hot dog stands? What do you think of Stokowski's hands? What do you think of the
You did, I think, one of your most remarkable performances in Friends.
Hey, Erica, come on in.
How did you get here so fast? I just saw you in Salem.
Right, they choppered me in. What's up?
Oh, and I see you're having a little party, too. Is she here? Huh?
Who?
Sabrina. I know about you two. I saw you today kissing in the doctor's lounge.
That's not what you think. That was...
You told me I was the only one.
How did that performance lead to Suddenly Susan?
It actually happened that night. All of a sudden I saw these men in suits, and I really was odd. There was a sort of a sea of them, and there was this sort of buzz. And they, the next day, came and said, would you be interested in doing your own show on NBC? I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I never knew anything like that really happened.
Suddenly Susan had a 4-year career. That's pretty good for television.
It is.
Did you enjoy those 4 years?
The 4 best years, I think, of, well, three best years, I would say. The first 3 years were great. Last year was sad.
One of the virtues of a series is the opportunity over time to develop a character. Did that happen to you on Suddenly Susan?
It did. It was one of the first times I had ever really felt identified by a character.
Ma'am, I'm just here to tell you we found your car.
That's great. So where's your boombox?
Ma'am, are you intoxicated?
I'd say yes. Will you pat me down? You're a public servant, and I am a member of the public, so start serving.
Unbalanced, you look back on those years as a very successful time of your life, eh?
I do, yeah. It allowed me to find a place in comedy. You know, they weren't, it was, the first thing is, oh, she can't be funny, why would she be funny, and all this. And it, again, it just opened up a huge place for me. Is that what I want to do to this child? Wasn't my hand that was doing it, but it was just, I didn't know that I had postpartum depression.
As I prepared for tonight, I read Brooks' book, Down Came the Rain. The book premiered at #6 on the New York Times bestseller list. Hats off.